So lately I've received a lot of questions about bass drum technique, whether I recommend to play with the heel up, the heel down, heel toe, whether it's better to rebound off the head or to bury the beater into the head. And my answer to all these questions is yes. I think they're all great techniques, so let's go to the foot cam and we'll get started. So for certain songs, I'll purposely bury the beater into the drum head. But more often than not, I'm really going to focus on rebounding off the drum head. So a great way to learn how to do this is if I take the spring off and just feel how the beater bounces off. Because if you notice when I'm doing this, it's like this is a ball bouncing against a wall rather than I'm trying to smash something on the floor. Because if I do that, I'm going to get that. Okay, so then the next step is to do that with your foot on the pedal. So now I'm going to put the spring back on, and if I just hold the beater against the head and let go, notice the spring pulls the beater off the head. So if we can combine the rebound that we just did without the spring with the natural spring action, then our foot can play as quick as our hands. As far as spring tension is concerned, I have it more on the loose side of things. I have it just tight enough so that when I put my foot on the pedal, the weight of my foot isn't pressing it against the head. And this allows me to play quiet as well as loud. I find if the spring tension is too tight, I have to push down really hard in order to get the beater to come up against the head. So this way we can play really quiet and loud as well. So for playing heel down, I'm basically doing this motion. But without actually taking my foot off the pedal board. Alright, so for power, what I don't want to do is start pushing downward like that, because then I'm going to start burying the beater again. So the power actually comes from the thigh. So a good way to learn how to do this is if I take the heel and put it on the lower part of the footboard, and without pushing down like that, just push through the heel. So I'm getting the power from the large muscles rather than the small muscles like that. Okay, so I'm going to still continue to do this kind of motion, but then I'm going to just kind of push down. If I'm going to play music that's slow with the heel up technique, I'm going to lift the whole leg and then push down through the ball of the foot and then roll back like that. So notice the heel comes down after each note. So a little faster. Okay, so notice the whole leg is moving and it's rebounding off the head. So you can practice this by just putting your foot on the floor, and so notice I'm not going like that. So as things get a little faster, I'm still going to use the whole leg, but I'm going to not come all the way down. So that would be something like this. Okay, so the faster I go, the less motion I want to use. So when I'm playing really fast, it's going to be similar to the heel down technique where I'm not going to be using the whole leg. I'm just going to be tapping like that, but in a heel up position. Okay, so here it is from a very slow to a fast speed. Okay, so if you notice at the end there, I kind of switched the technique from a all kind of toe down method to a heel toe method. So let's talk about that now. So my approach is probably not a true heel-toe technique, because when I'm playing this, I'm actually not getting a note from the heel, for example, like this. I'm not actually doing that. I'm thinking more like combining heel-up technique with heel-down technique. So what I like to think of is just playing heel-up when you play quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to come up in order to come down again. So if I count my upstroke, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, I'll just simply roll forward on the way up to get a note on the way up. So you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So again, when I'm playing slower, the heel is coming all the way down to the floor. Okay, and the other thing I'm trying to make sure is that the beater is always coming back to the same spot, like if I were playing heel down or heel up. So I'm trying to avoid it looking something like this. Okay, just all the way back. So whether I'm playing heel down, heel up, or heel toe, the beater should come back to the same spot. And let's not forget the left foot. Heel down. Heel up. Heel toe. So once we've worked out the mechanics of how all these different techniques work, it's really important to learn how to play these techniques in time. So for the purpose of this example, let's focus on heel up. For me, starting at either the bottom of the metronome all the way up to about 76, if I'm using heel up, I will allow the heel to come all the way down to the floor. So anywhere from about 80 to about 144, that's when I'm going to switch into the heel coming partially down. So here's an example at, let's put this at 138. And then from around 192 and up, that's when I'm going to switch more into just a dropping of the toe, for example. This is 200.